Everybody, welcome back to Agrarian Skies Revisited, Redo, or whatever. Episode 6 with me, Sid. And first episode of Agrarian Skies since I've returned from my jollies. And we are doing. And I just realised, of course, this was the point in Minecraft history when you didn't have skins, or if you did, So I'm Direwolf 20. Anyway, yeah, we're just sifting another pile of gravel. I'm doing multiple stacks of gravel. I've already done one lot, and I've also got lava generating over here. It's the grind at the moment. But this episode, I'd like to try. Well, I'd like to try and, in the first instance, I'd like to try and automate lava. Maybe lava, maybe even gravel. But there's also a number of quests. I have got a few bits and pieces in my inventory which will allow us to do that. I'm not really worrying too much about the mob dropper at the moment because I think, other than dirt, which is something we are going to want. I did put these on. It was suggested to put these on the drying rack. I don't think that works in Agrarian Skies 1. That may have been an Agrarian Skies 2 thing, because there was a sequel, obviously, and that is a thing. But what we need to do is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Get these prepped into 4s, and then I can hammer these down, make them down into dusts, and then we should have a whole load more stuff to process. So this is kind of my life at the moment. This is what is evolving, but as we get more and more materials behind us, we will be able to achieve more and more steps in the direction of automation, and that's all good. This is kind of where I suppose I cut my teeth on a lot of these mods, on these early automation mods, which just don't do that though. That's annoying. Because I don't want those down there. I just want to put these down so we can get rid of those. Okay, these are here for a reason as well. They're quest line items. But yeah, this is a very real grind with very real effort and work involved. Well, not effort, I suppose. Stuff. There's things to do. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2, 3. That. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. And 1. And then to repeat when we do the same for the dust, and then we process all of that up in the smeltery, and the world is good and happy, in theory. So, plan for this this episode is, as I say, to try and get some automation going. At this stage, it will probably be fairly basic automation, but that's fine. Because, we're not aiming to achieve everything on day one. That's That will be over optimistic, I'm sure. That should be the last of the sand. And then we can just take this down to dust and process those up, and that will give us a whole load of ores to process. Oops. And could do with... Have I got any sticks anywhere? Sticky stick? No, let's take a log then. Log to that, to those, to that, to that, and off we go again. Right. And just slurp it all up. Pop it all in. And then take those out. And yeah, the world is a little bit better. Now eventually, once you're producing everything automatically, you can more or less forget this kind of doubling mechanism, because it doesn't really matter. after a while, getting these slight extras, you might as well just put the gravel through or double that straight off. Obviously there is efficiencies to be had, but that's all they are, efficiencies. You know, it's efficiencies of a percentage as well. That's the interesting bit. Right, let me grab you. Let's go and pop you in there. We'll go and grab the other one as well. In fact, I shall just restock that. Oh, hello. Yeah, I know that will catch fire. It won't burn. That's the key difference. So let's start off with iron. That'll give me 16 iron ingots, and then we'll process all of this lot through. And I shall be back with you in a moment. Alright, that's all that processed. Let's just see. Oh, thank you. Don't mind if I do. Lovely. Yeah, they're not doing anything. So nice idea, not working. Right. Let me put all of this lot away. So that gives us a good starting position. However, we have a quest. And that quest is for an aqueous accumulator, an autonomous activator, and a vacuum hopper. That's one. But before we go there, we have this one: fluiduct, opaque, pneumatic servo. So let us go with a fluiduct, opaque. It's just 2 copper and lead. So that one is nice and simple. Boop, boop, boop. Get 6 of those. Oh, you get 6. That's even better. And then in there should be some glass, because the other thing we need is a servo. And that is... well, we can do it with silver or tin. Silver, we've probably got... well, we can do it with more or less anything. Bronze, steel or aluminium. We'll do it with silver because I have a bit of spare silver, and I'm not really getting the feeling there. And then we can claim that reward. That is a basic reward bag, which gives us some purple stained clay. Woo, thank you. So generous. And then we can take you and we'll just make you into a half, just to keep the inventory a little bit clear there. Now, what's next? We've got the automatic. That's the next thing here. Steel powered flight wizard for the hoarding, go with the flow. So what's over in there? I think it's just fluid storage, isn't it? Which I'm really not that bothered about right now. So I think we go into here and we're going to start off with an aqueous accumulator. Why the hell? I mean, I know why I want an aqueous accumulator. It's just, I'm not desperate for one now. But anyway, aqueous accumulator, autonomous activator, and a vacuum hopper. Now I've got a horrible feeling that a vacuum hopper requires an ender pearl. It does. And the only way I'm getting an ender pearl is from an enderman, and I've not built an enderman compatible trap, which is not great. Or do I completely skip that for now? And do I go with a terrain smasher, which should be reasonably straightforward? I think I'm going to need a piece of redstone because I'm out of that, and I don't think I can in any way. I suppose I could make a chisel that, maybe. You are from Tinkers, so no, it's not chisel block, is it? It's I think, yeah, I think we're kind of stuffed. I think we need redstone, so I need to sift dust. Good chance of dropping it though, so what we're probably going to do is let me get myself some snacks. Got myself a hammer. And thanks by the way, for everybody who's been giving suggestions on this. A lot of this is coming back to me anyway. So, yeah, the technique of hammering these direct into gravel, very handy. Let's just say that. So I'm going to get myself a stack of gravel. I'll convert it down into sand, and then I'm going to convert it down into dust, and we'll sift that, and that should give me hopefully enough redstone to do it. I could also go and see if we got any witches in the mob farm, but you know, that's a little bit RNG. And the other thing I notice is you seem to pick up every one with hammering. It hasn't got the same issue of the block going in, whether the hammering just automatically puts it straight into your inventory, I don't know. But anyway, seems to work better, so yeah. Let me get that sorted, be back in a moment. Oh right, I think we've got more or less everything. I am going to need to make my piston. And I am going to need, I've got the servo, I need my Invar pickaxe, that's the last bit that we're missing. And while we're here, keep the crops going. Bunk. Now we should, I think, be able to do that fairly easily in there. And if my memory, this is going back a while, my memory is not good for last week, let alone what, 12, what was this, 2014 I said, didn't I? So what, 11, 12 years ago, something like that. Yeah, this is dangerous, trusting my memory to remember things like this. But if my memory serves me correctly, this will make me invar, and I should get 3 ingots, because this early days, if you put in 3 ingots, you got 3 ingots out. It's just, you know, your mix was done. I'm fairly certain that was how it came out. Yes, 3 ingots of invar. Out you come, and we'll make an invar pick, and then we can make the terrain smasher, and we can place that in position at the back of the cobble gen. I think that's what my plan is anyway. Right, so one of those, I'm going to go with you, that, and that. Gives me that, and this is not a quest item. This is the fun bit. This is just let's make us a thing item. So if I now pop you that, there you go. Configuration, output to the top, I think is where we want. I think you probably have got the cobblestone in you. I didn't see it come out now. The next thing we want to do is grab this. That can come out, and we'll stick that back over there. And then if I grab you and place you there, that's going to get you a much faster process. Now the stupid question is, I need another servo, that's for starters. I think. Redstone ignored. Low, ignored, high. No, it's ignored, isn't it? And we want you coming out the top. Configuring how the items enter and leave this device. So I think we just need to put the servo in here. And for that I'm going to need to make another servo. Let me go and have a look at that again. I can't remember what, I think it was fairly cheap, wasn't it? Redstone, silver, iron and glass. There's a redstone. I'm going to use iron because I've got more of it. Oh, and I've got the glass on me. Boop, 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 boop. Boop. That's a fluid duct. Idiot. You need an item duct. Okay. I do want a fluid duct, of course. Item duct. We can make it lead and tin. I may need another servo yet, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Servo must be installed for control, okay. So you are ignored. I don't know. Separate filtering. Do I need a wrench? Blacklist, use all dictionary. Can I just take you all the way down to 1? I think I might need a wrench. Thermal, do you have a wrench? I'd be very surprised if he doesn't have a wrench. It normally has a wrench. These things almost always have a wrench. Invar battle wrench might be a little bit excessive. Wrench, 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 wrench. Thermal expansion, forestry, redstone arsenal. Oh, I don't think we're there. Maybe we're there. Oh, God grief. Okay. How? Wasn't a stick. It was worth a try. Okay, I need to try and remember how to wrench a servo, or how to make a servo do what I want to do. I don't think it doesn't really matter if we have you on disabled. You should be sucking content out from that terrain smasher, and that doesn't have a servo, so alright, back in a minute. Alright, I cannot figure out what's going on here. This thing works fine straight into a chest. So that's what we're going to do for now. Now my thoughts then are, let's go and empty this. If I just could utilise that as a temporary you've only got 400 in you now, so we'll take the loss there. We'll pop you over. Okay, you picked it up. Okay, that's fine. Don't mind that. And then we can pop you there. Oh, it actually kept it. Of course it does. That will go from there to there, and we'll pop that on there. Now that should, again, be working. Right, tab controller reacts to redstone signals, but it shouldn't. Do I need to? Weird. I mean, I can give it a redstone signal. Just this is what I mean about me having to try and remember things. I don't think that's going to work there, is it? No, it's over here. I'm fairly certain I can't put a lever on that. I mean, at least I don't need to faff around hammering, it'll do it for me, which is all good. It's just that I would have liked to be able to pipe the liquid out of there into there. Well, we'll give this a try. I really do think there's something missing here. I need to figure this out. It's been a long time since I've done the thermal stuff, so right now it isn't the end of the world. He says. Because I've got the ability to stick cobblestone in there. It's running at 1 millibucket per tick, which is fine, and I can always just scoop that from there into there, and that's, you know, still an improvement on what we were doing. We've got the actuator going. I just can't remember why or how that used to work. This is really bizarre. I wonder whether we are going to need a crescent hammer. Let's try that, shall we? It's a crescent hammer. Of course it's a crescent hammer. 3 iron and 1 tin. It was always one of the problems with tech mods, was they were always creating so if I take an item duct now and pop it there, and then we'll feed this over to the top. I'm fairly certain the input has to be, and I'm fairly certain you just, yes. Now we've got no control and it's not doing anything right now. But if I were to stick that in there and do ignored, then that should now push that into there. And I think if we take you, and then I crescent hammer, no, that's not what I wanted, okay. Like that. How's that? No, because it still needs a servo. Okay, let's go and give it a servo then. Let's eat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll do me. 5 melon juices. Man, this is a very dull diet. I feel like I'm on the juice diet. Crescent hammer. Of course it's a crescent hammer. Right, so servo is a piece of redstone, a couple of pieces of iron, and glass. And I think alright, so there's 400, right, okay. Let us turn that on. That is filling. That is currently backed up with cobblestone, but that's fine. So as the cobblestone goes down, it should think so. We've got automatic lava, and then what I think I can do is I can continue this out from there, and we can take more cobble, so the cobblestone will go to there, but we could also take it to a macerator, or whatever the thermal expansion equivalent is, and yeah, so as soon as that gets down to a certain level, that will pick up. There you go, another one went in. Excellent. And now that's backed up. And that's filling. Where we have our first piece of automation. Woohoo! Yay! It hasn't got us anywhere on the quest line, of course. And I don't think I'm in a position to even start these. You can power design of a generator. Okay, blah blah blah. Yeah, of course, that's the other thing. We're going to need power if I'm going to thing. We do need to look at the wizarding line, but the moment that's blood magic and yeah, okay. For the hoarding, we probably need to go here because we really should be thinking about some storage. And better barrels would be in fact, we haven't got storage drawers on this one, have we? And then there's the liquids, which yeah, and then the end, which is locked, and Hell's Kitchen, which is also locked. But I definitely need to figure out how to get an ender pearl. Oh, that's going to be fun. Not. Because I think the endermen in this teleport you to them. But, well, at least that's working. Let me just check how long I've been recording and struggling with this little conundrum, and I shall be back with you in a moment. By the way, apologies if you see the aspect ratio of this screen changes. When I click off of the screen to go and check something, it goes into windowed mode. Whereas normally, not in normal or more recent versions of Minecraft, it doesn't actually do that. So that's the thing. Now, one thing that has been suggested is that I could put a piston down here. So when we get any of those infernal mobs, I can just come down here and flick a switch and they fall through, and all we need to do is make sure that if it's an enderman, it doesn't see me. Because the enderman will teleport you to them, and of course it would teleport me to underneath the platform, which would be bad. So that's the thing. Other suggestions is that the platforms above there are too far up, and the mobs basically aren't moving when I'm back on the island. I can live without. I think there are fan. Let me just check. I'm pressing H for the thing, but it's. No, there isn't a fan. Oh, that's interesting then. That's going to make life more interesting. Slime channels. There's a slime channel, isn't there? Hang on, let me just. The slime channel is, if I remember rightly, a bit like a conveyor belt, so that could be something. Because if I want to make this work for endermen, I need to go up the top, take the water out, and replace it with something that endermen don't freak out about. Because obviously, water channels are not going to help in that circumstance. And obviously we do need to be thinking about that, because ender pearls will be very useful. Did I not have some slimeage somewhere? I did, but not slime channel, and that is made with slime and redstone. So a bit pricey, but let's just try one. It's not so pricey that I can't do it, but after all, we have got the slime sapling. I mean, it's a bit it's a bit weak sauce. What about conveyors? We have got conveyors from Mine Factory Reloaded, but that uses rubber, so I think we're a little bit off of that. I mean, that would be the obvious way, just have them spawn on conveyors, but I think, even though it's taken me way longer to work this out than it should have done, I think we'll get that as our screenshot, and we're going to call this an episode. This may, I haven't got as much done as I would have liked this episode. That has spent far too long trying to remember the name of that particular device there. If they'd just called it a wrench, it wouldn't have been a problem. But no, it has to be something different, which was, a thing in early Minecraft mods. Everybody had their own wrenches and they all had their own different names. So until next time, thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you soon. Bye for now.